True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the Rise Against album, Nowhere Generation. This is the 9th LP entry into the Chicago punk rock band's discography. This follows up 2017's Wolves, which still impresses me to this day. It may be a little tacky for its political themes, but some decent songwriting on there. Regardless, I have to say it's a resurgence for the group. From the teasers of this new record, Rise Against seemed to be doubling down on a political lens or perspective. I mean, first, just the title of this record, trying very hard to resonate with a wider audience, Nowhere Generation. Come on, that is an easy tactic for rock music. To me, it just screams 2000s Green Day, Billy Talent, or even earlier with Anti-Flag. Take your pick, they're all political to varying degrees, and Rise Against are no stranger to broach that subject either. It's kind of in their name, you know? But that's just the lyrics and scope of the record. I still wanted to give the music a shot, give Nowhere Generation a fair chance, and it's safe to say after multiple listens, it's not my cup of tea. It's not weighing me over. To expand on that a bit more, the opening track, The Numbers, begins on a quiet intro. It eventually gives way to alternating a half-time drum pattern with a common time rhythm in order to drive home a head-bobbing melody. Just classic Rise Against songwriting, nothing out of the ordinary from them. If anything, it's noticeably diluted from their usual aggressive energy and catchiness. I'm not hearing much of a tune on The Numbers. I mean, it's an average song, which you'll soon find out this is most of the album and what it can offer. Okay, that's a lie because the title track is likely the peak. It has an incredibly catchy tune thanks to its guitar riffs that are sure to fill a stadium. The lyrics, on the other hand, they pander about big corporations and politicians keeping the younger generation from realizing their potential of the American dream. How fitting to keep the conversation rolling with Broken Dreams Incorporated. This was a pre-release song that was originally put out in support of Dark Knight's death metal soundtrack. I thought it was pretty generic and phoned in at first, as most bands, you know, they just want the check. Mind you, the original production quality sounded demo-ish as well, but an improvement though, the recording of Broken Dreams Inc. on the album is better, it's improved, but the tune is still plain and lazy. It's honestly like the band checked off every modern punk rock song cliche. We have the chanted fist-raising hey, heys, the drum break with just the kick drum, and some extra fuzzed out and distorted bass guitar. It's like I'm listening to a watered down and toothless version of Green Day's Holiday. It makes no sense. What also doesn't make much sense is the cut Monarch, because at this point, we're 7 tracks in, and this has got to be the 5th time the drummer has recycled the same beat. At the same time, a bass tone is reused. I mean, simply put, variety just evades this album. It's like swearing is a last-ditch effort to compel the listener to, you know, listen. One of those listenable tracks, in my opinion, though, is Forfeit. It's very refreshing to hear an acoustic cut to keep me on my toes. I don't need to be listening to the same song over and over again. To commend Forfeit, the impassioned vocals are quite nice. And I gotta put this out there now. As much as I don't enjoy this record, I think the performances are fine, and I still like Tim's vocals. He's always been a great singer, and I don't mean for this review to be a takedown of the band's abilities. I just think that they stall on the songwriting and creative front. That said, I see a glimmer of potential on the tracks winding down this album. Sounds like Sooner or Later, Middle of a Dream. They all reel me in at their bridge sections, whether it's from a guitar with notably more gain or an increased urgency of performance. I connect with these songs a lot more just from the emotive response I get from them. But it's almost too little too late. Remember, these are bridge sections that are only played in a song once normally, so there's limited opportunity to have a melodic idea stick from that. One final comment I'll make on an individual song is for Sooner or Later. That song, especially the tune, is just on autopilot. And the lyrics, those are just filled to the brim with cliches of reaping what you sow and facing the music, and my god, this is not an album I enjoyed much. For the better half of its runtime, it was in one ear and out the other. I feel like most of the punk rock conventions here are just way too repetitive, that they get drilled into your skull. By the end of it, you'll be either loving them or hating them. Personally, it's frustrating to hear the bridges be the most compelling parts of these songs. Some great ideas here or there, but only within small passages or small sections. I think I only came away with one or maybe two tracks that are worthwhile streaming all the way through. The rest, though, pretty throwaway in my opinion. At the end of the day, too samey sounding, and this just becomes more of a chore to get through. With all that, I'm feeling a 3 out of 10 on Nowhere Generation. So there's the album review for today. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Tell me what you guys think of this music, whether you agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'd appreciate that. As always, thanks for watching and have a rockin' day.